sure Claude is in check. It doesn't help that Claude has the Avarice. It's not going to help him at all, and I do think that he kind of forgot to do his runes there.
Oh, the Insanity from Scott being popped off here. Will he go for a stun here? Nice flicker away, but the arrow to the face onto what? Oh dear, Bambi gets taken down. Here comes the Tyrant's Rage as well. No, will get taken out for a trade here. Scott wants to go for the chase with his JPL. Does not have any kind of movement speed to pick off here, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade just like that here. But on the contrary here, EVOS, they took a lot of significant damage just like that.
I mean, trading back and forth isn't exactly ideal considering that EVOS Esports is slightly ahead. Soul somehow has to find a lead, but the rest of the team comes through. Wild Charge goes through. The last Insanity finally pops off, gets the final kill off of Ace. Clean dive coming in from Axis Esports.
Very nicely done here coming from Axis Esports. They know that EVOS Esports was no position to actually contest that here, considering that they committed so much just for the Xbox and still did not get that kill here. Even though getting the long, it was great, but it wasn't enough there. And just like that, Axis Esports 6-2, they have the 2k goal and advantage and taking a tier 1 up top. So EVOS Esports right now, it feels like they are struggling in terms of finding those pickoffs here because greater is just not enough here.
Yep, I think for the most part, Guinevere, she does take the skirmishes very, very well. They want to break this team up. They don't want Axis Esports to be grouped up as 5 because that's where their strength in numbers comes in, and not to mention their team fight capability. But now, Turtle, second Turtle of the game, is going to be contested.
This Turtle is going to coming in here. EVOS Esports, they're not prepared for this here. Axis Esports, they're trying to finish off the Turtle, but Luda close time him off. Insanity comes off here. He goes pop. So in trouble. Goodbye, Soul. No Tarista, no ultimate, no nothing. But here comes the Cloud with the Blazing Duet, tries to wrap out things, and they will get almost 3 members from the side of EVOS Esports here. JPL, almost the 4th one as well. But looks like Axis Esports will come out on top with this double mage setup here.
And it looks to be working out pretty well. I mean, Selena is catching people off with the Abyssal Arrows. The rest of EVOS Esports is kind of forced into situations that are definitely unfavorable and getting peppered down by those Abyssal Arrows because one catch could really make or break this team composition.
Exactly here, but seeing how EVOS Esports is going right now here, they're going to buy a little bit more time for Soul to come up with light here because there is at least a couple more items to be relatively tanky in this kind of situation, or even dish out enough damage here because JPL and Ace, they have gone for the tank position from the side of EVOS Esports. They need Bambi up a couple more items before they come up with light as well, whereas I think Axis Esports, they can just go crazy, you know?
Pretty much, they have the lead. They are 5k ahead. I think they didn't take the pace of the game, and I think they should be looking for bigger dives and be more aggressive going into their jungle, completely disrespecting EVOS Esports here, because remember, they can only take one person at a time unless Soul comes in with a big flank. So if they understand those conditions, they can pretty much invade every single time the buff is up.
35 seconds before the turtle buff here, Axis Esports is looking for a play down bottom here. Can they catch off Ace here? They are going to go for a wrap around here. This Kufra seems to be in trouble here. EVOX going to try and block the pathway here. Scott doesn't really care, just focus on the tier 1s here. They've shown their signs here. EVOS Esports, they are going to try and provide a little bit of assistance with Ace here. The arrow doesn't seem to connect though. Potato has shown his mark here. Axis Esports, they're lying in wait.
This is going to be a tough 4v4 because Scott, he was going to come in with the last Insanity at some point on top of the Wild Charge, because once he builds up that gauge on the members with that passive, it's going to be over. And yeah, Evil X, he's going to walk up. He could turn this around very easily. Oh dear, remember, he misses it. The magic knock. The last Insanity coming in from Scott. They're pulling it through. The wrap is not enough as they clean up members one by one. Rin is completely uncontested with the Dark Fist. The Chaos Assaults never stop.
That is fantastic spot there coming from Scott, and now the darkness as well from below, from uptown, almost finishing on Potato here. But did you see how the stakes here from Scott as well? It was just on point. As soon as Bambi went in, tries to back off, gets pulled off, and that positioning, that messed up EVO's draft here, gave them an opportunity. Axis went in for the kill. Fantastically done.
And this is kind of what's the issue with EVOS Esports' composition. They have a lot of people who kind of engage, but they need the right conditions to do so. And it can sometimes be a little difficult to land if it is anticipated by your enemy team. So Axis Esports, they're telling them, hey, you guys have to engage on us. We can easily counter-engage, and we have room to kind of follow up on anybody with the Abyssal Arrows. So please, come on in. Come on to our team composition.
They just have too much plan to install. That's why here, like, you have the Xbox Insanity, you have the Clouds Blazing Duet to worry about. You even have Lunox's Brilliance and Darkness to worry about, which is at least 3 stages of the fight in this early in the stage. And whereas EVOS Esports need to buy a little more time to actually compete on those 3-wave setups in terms of devices.
And not to mention, a lot of these kills are going into the 2 members who don't want to see get ahead. I mean, she'll scale eventually. She already has the life charges and the concentrated energy. Doing well so far, but when you're dealing with an expert who goes in and you need him to die, that Athena shield is going to buy him so much time.
And as of now, EVOS Esports comeback potential is the hope that Seoul does have that week out before they actually take those next engagements here. Out tanking all this damage out, big dish out to Access Esports is the way to go from EVOS Esports, but that's the problem right now. Having a secondary, I would say a third tank from Saiso and also the main damage dealer isn't that great after just 8 minutes here. They need to drag it a little bit more before they can actually come up online.
I think they've completely missed the power spike as well, because again, even if they hit their second power spike, Axis
JPL. Purify. Fantastically done here, coming from Laxin here. Now baits out JPL in the position here, so provides a little bit of assist here. Scott, still a little bit too tanky here. Kufra Ace, he's debating if he wants to go here. Looks like he will back off. Very smart call here from EVOS, but at the same time, Axis Esports is just grabbing EVOS Esports by the fingers and toying with them right now.
Yeah, it's a little tough for them to continue, especially if you are on the side of EVOS Esports. You're looking like, hey, I want to get this catch with Missile Arrow doesn't land. I want to get this catch, but committing to this means I might lose more members in the trade. Ace, he does get a catch. Look, he needs to make it out of here. The flicker isn't going to be enough. Desnada does come through. Can he get that final Rhapsody? And yes, he does. Quick rondo to put him in position. Gets a nice kill onto Long. Great shutdown, but the Unstoppable coming through for Scott. He's not going to let Torrents breathe.
Speaking of which, a nice sidestep by Long early on here. Now, because they took out a Selena here, they're going to try and make an opportunity for them here. JPL tried to go for the Wave Dragon, but unfortunately gets cancelled from Evo Axis Wall Charger. But now goes in for the Flicker. Never expected that here, but no follow-up available here. But they do bait out the darkness coming in from Rin.
A big ultimate, but I still think it's kind of tough. Axis Esports, they still have Last Insanity. They still have Rin's, second ultimate. Brilliance is going to be enough to kind of bait some stuff out, but I don't think it's going to be enough for EVOS Esports to say definitively, I want to win this fight. I just don't have the ultimates to do it as of right now.
They definitely need to drag a little bit more here, because speaking of a little bit more here, he's going to try and bait out Rin here. Brilliance is coming up here. Scott is there available as well, but the wall charge will secure into a Bambi. That is going to be the dead Bambi available, but EVOS Esports, they try to contest this here, but they're just too low. So much damage output. Missile doesn't seem to connect, but that will be it for EVOS Esports. They lose 2 members just like that, and a little bit more time being bought in the favor of Axis Esports, and a little bit more space for the Lord to be grabbed.
Yeah, Lord is going to be under Axis Esports' control, but EVOS Esports, can they do enough? JPL takes a bit of damage, but I don't think Long wants to come into the fight. Most of his abilities are on.
I'm a little bit worried here, because the Lunox right now from the side of Rin already up with the Divine Glaives here. The magic penetration is going to be detrimental on towards the Kufra as well as the Cho here. I'm worried here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good 9k lead coming in from Axis Esports, and in most situations against top-tier teams, this could make it or break it. And I think if EVOS Esports wants to win, they have to figure out a way to get Scott completely out of the fight before he pops that Last Insanity, which is kind of tough because you are wasting
the arrow
for an ultimate.
The arrow doesn't seem to land here. Axis Esports, you can see EVOX trying to bait some kind of plays here coming from EVOS Esports. The only thing they bait is the Cho's spell here, and the Jikundo, despite having low cooldowns here, if you bait those split seconds here, it could be a make or break for them here. So, getting pulled in for the stakes here from Scott, but the Lord is going to be knocking down on his tower. Bambi, Bambi getting her arrow here. Where's the follow-up? The wall charge is there as well. They will finish off Bambi, and that will be it for the major. Potato gets wrapped around. The Blazing Duet from Laxin as well. Getting into Zomani. JPL, that will be it. EVOS Esports, they lose all here. Great ultimate from Soul, but where's the follow-up? The Lord is going to be knocking the crystal, and that will be it for EVOS Esports as Axis Esports. Convincing stuff. Game number 1.
Very, very clean game overall. I think just so far, by the start of the game, you could definitely see that the Guinevere was kind of struggling for the most part. They didn't abuse the Tarinsla, and I think the mistake wasn't even in EVOS' favor to begin with, more so than the fact that their composition was just so weak.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of friends of mine previous week as well. Tarinsla is just amazing in terms of flexibility in off-lane and the mid and the secondary support. However, they need some kind of frontline support, frontline tanks to play with. But Kufra and Cho isn't that tanky as compared to Azagro, and I feel like most of the time they were just struggling to just out-sustain all the damage output being dished out from Axis Esports, and very convincing stuff, great stuff from Axis Esports. I love the draft, the Selena, the Lunox, even the drafting phase, denying all the mage pool here, limiting EVOS' draft, which is amazing to watch.
I personally felt like if Bambi wanted to show something here. Besides the Guinevere, Chang'e might fit the role a little bit better, only because at least you can pump out more damage.
Yeah.
Just to kind of take out maybe 2 or 3 people, rather than, you know, kind of depending on, oh dear, Bambi comes in with a magic thump that can only target maybe 1 or even 2.
I think from EVOS esports side, like the Guinevere pick was just in case they could not pick off the export, because export can decide kind of like this very slippery hero to work with here. So in the Changi, yeah, you can do a lot of front range damage, but they don't exactly have heroes that can just cut the backlines besides the Cho, and they need that into the mid game here. And I feel like in terms of draft, they just got out-drafted because of the limitations of the mainstream rule.
Alright, let's have a look at our highlights brought to you by our legendary sponsors Black Shark, and we can kind of recap over what happened for the most part of the game. As I can see, EVOS Esports, I felt even though they did have a weaker draft, there are narrower ways to, you know, get to your win condition. And for the most part, they needed to abuse the fact that Terizla has some great wave clear and can sacrifice a little bit of life to Claude, who doesn't have that kind of early game damage. And here was their first mistake, trying to do exactly that, where it's like, hey, instead of trying to push that Terizla lane a little bit ahead, we're going to go and focus on the Granger because they have more numbers. We could potentially take it over. It did not work out.
Exactly. Yeah, that fight as well. Overcommitment here cost them their ways to actually even recall back as well. And Axis Esports got a fantastic read in that. Ever since they took out the top here, there was no way EVOS Esports had any kind of ways to actually come back from that here. From that point as well, you can see 6k late worth by only 9 minutes of the game here. To drag the game that long, I don't think EVOS Esports had the arsenal to even drag the game even longer.
I think more importantly, it's that Soul was not part of a lot of these fights. I think at a certain point, he needed to kind of sacrifice his objectives just to kind of be at the fight, because number one, you clear way faster than Claude.
Yeah.
You can sacrifice a little bit more health because of your passive.
Definitely.
So I think in this situation, play for the rotation, look to, you know, fight 554s more often, pre-level 4 or even after level 4, you're looking to, you know, hit hard.
Definitely here. And of course, once again here, we are going to be taking a short break before we actually go into towards game number 2. And this is the MPL MYSG Season 4, brought to you by EGG Network and of course Moonton. Not to forget our legendary sponsors, Black Shark themselves. My name is ICBaby12. He is Fader5A. See you in a bit.
Experience the youth. Download for free Mobile Legends BangBang. Download for free Mobile Legends BangBang.
Your team destroyed the turret. An enemy has been slain. Godlike. Double kill. Mega kill. Double kill.
Download for free Mobile Legends BangBang.
The southern seas are my domain. Stop. First blood, double kill. Legendary. Killing spree. Listen to my graceful song. Legendary. Double kill. Triple kill. Maniac.
Download for free Mobile Legends BangBang.
Killing spree. Godlike.
for free. Mobile Legends BangBang.
Welcome back once again to the MPL MYSG regular season number 4. My name is ICBaby12 and he is Fatal5way, and of course MPL MYSG is brought to you by EGG Network and of course Muton. Not to forget our legendary sponsors Black Shark themselves. Amazing stuff here. Game number 1 has just ended here. Axis Esports taking one game against EVOS in this best of 3 series here. A little bit debating on the Grenadier pick here. We've talked about this during game number 1 here. What do you think that game 2 is going to be brought up by EVOS Esports coming in?
I think for EVOS Esports coming in, being on red side has a pretty good advantage because you do get quite a number of picks. I think they have to be smart with what they want more than anything else, because again, I think a lot of, in terms of like, think of it like a priority list. It's like,
pag ang tawag ka, mabuhat na araw sa'yo.
Bakit?
Ay.